Picture this, a baby girl in the back seat of a car screaming and crying hysterically with no one around to help, and as the camera zooms out, the mom is smoking with all the windows up, just trapping the little girl in there with all that secondhand smoke. This is ridiculous. This is a commercial that's out right now, and it gets under my skin every time. Parents should not smoke around their kids. It is exposing them to secondhand smoke. It's eventually maybe going to, have them attain that same habit, and also it's taking away from the kids. Babies and young kids exposed to secondhand smoke have a higher risk of having more health problems than children who aren't around smoke. They have a higher chance of getting respiratory illnesses like pneumonia, asthma, bronchitis, and it also can cause wheezing, coughing, phlegm, and sometimes ear infections. In fact, 200,000 to 1 million children that already have asthma, their conditions are worsened by smoke. And also it has been proven that children who haven't even been diagnosed with asthma, it can pop up with, if they're around smoke. Kids who are around smokers are generally weaker and have weaker lungs. It's been proven that babies who are around smoking, they are more likely to die from SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome. So that's really scary, you know what I'm saying? Another problem associated with secondhand smoke is, like I said, the ear infections, and which causes drainage in the ear and or fluid in the ear. So kids who are around smoke and they have a lot of ear infections, they're more than likely going to have to be operated on and have tubes put in their ear to actually drain the fluid. To me, my child's health is, way more important than smoking. Also, another reason parents shouldn't smoke around their kids is, it's maybe causing them to want to smoke in the future. Like when they get older, they'll remember, oh, my parents used to smoke, I'll smoke, it's okay to smoke. As kids grow up, they look to their parents for guidance on how they're supposed to live. And if their, superior role model is doing this thing over and over and over and over again, I feel like the kids don't have a chance. They don't know that it's wrong because they see their parents doing it. So, maybe they think it's right, or maybe they think it's what they're supposed to do. I have personally experienced this. My friends, actually, they have a 5-year-old son, and they smoke, and his grandmother smokes also, and one time we went over there, and this 5-year-old kid was sitting there with a pencil pretending like he was smoking on a cigarette. And that's sad when that happens, because he's 5 years old and already thinking that that's what he's going to do. This minute he gets a chance to have a real cigarette, I feel like he's going to do it. And, that's really, really, really sad, because what kind of chance did that kid have? He didn't have a chance, and it's all because his parents smoked. If his parents never smoked, then he would have never been introduced to it. He might have thought differently about it because if his parents smoked, maybe they thought it wasn't right, and I don't know, it's just ridiculous. In a way, if you're a heavy smoker, I really think that you're taking away from your kid. Not only health-wise, or maybe like in their future-wise, but also like time-wise. It always gets me, like at Disney World, they have designated smoking areas, and every time I walk past these smoking areas, I think about their little son or daughter who's at Disney World, it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and they just want to go and explore and ride rides and see Mickey Mouse, and here they are sitting there with their parents while they have to take a 10-minute cigarette break. Like, I think just really unfair, and I can't see how parents can take away from their kids like that. Seriously, your cigarette is more important than your kids enjoying their time at Disney. It just doesn't get me. What really, really blows my mind is when I go up to my nephew's baseball park to watch baseball games, there's some parents that walk out to the parking lot and to smoke a cigarette. And it's like, you can't even wait 2 hours to smoke a cigarette. What if something happens that your kid does that's amazing? They hit a home run, their first home run, they catch their first ball. There's so many things could happen, but you're going to be outside in a parking lot smoking a cigarette because you can't wait, you know? That's something that you, as a parent, can never get back, and that's something that may heartbreak your child because, you know, they're role model, they're one they look up to, they missed it. They missed that shining moment, and it's just really sad. You know, as parents, we're supposed to be there for our kids, not be out in a parking lot smoking a cigarette. And I know it sounds harsh, but I mean, think about it, you know, how important is a cigarette? According to the National Survey on Environmental Management of Asthma, children exposures to environmental tobacco smoke, 11% of children ages 6 and under are exposed to smoke on their homes on a regular basis, which is 4 or more days per week. And 90% of those 11% of children, 90% of those kids, you know, that is due to their parents. Their parents smoking at home, their parents smoking in the cars, their parents not walking away when they want to smoke, you know. It's really sad that you would subject your kids to something like that. Because secondhand smoke is detrimental to a kid's health. Once you smoke around your kids, it's in their lungs, you know, it's ridiculous. You can also pass this habit down, whether you want them to smoke or not. If they see you smoke, it's not going to be up to you, like, you know what I mean? Also, smoking takes away from your kids in more ways than you think. For me, I want to be here with my kids as long as I can. I want to be here with my grandkids. I want to be fit. I don't want to have a breathing tube. I don't want to have them to go through me with lung cancer and have to, like, go through that pain. You know, it's just something that I don't want to go through, and I don't want my kids to have to go through. But if you are going to smoke and, you know, you just can't cut the habit, there are some ways that you can, you know, keep your kids safe. Never, ever, 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 ever smoke in the house or in your vehicle. You know, just because you have a window open and you're driving down the road and you think it's going to fly out the window, that doesn't matter. You need to never smoke in your car if your child is going to be in your car. Always smoke outside and away from your children, and always ask people to do the same. Please, please, please don't be afraid to ask people to not smoke around your kid. Your kid is more important than maybe being embarrassed that you ask somebody to not smoke around them. And also, make sure their daycares and schools are 100% tobacco-free. Because if you're doing everything at home to keep your kids, you know, tobacco-free, what good is it going to do if people are smoking at the school or around the daycare? You know what I mean? So you just need to make sure it's not around your kid. And if you do decide to quit, which I hope you decide to do, you can call 1-800-QUIT now and do everyone a favor, especially your kids, and stop smoking now.